Hi everyone, I'm Dana Ponsky and welcome to Being Jewish in College's new video series, Kibbutz in 10 Minutes. Today we will have 10 minutes of valuable information from Betsy Polk, who is the Director of Jewish Life and the Acting Associate Chaplain of Jewish Life at Elon University. Thank you so much, Betsy, for being here. So just to get things going, to kick it off, can you tell us what the name of the Jewish Center is on campus, if it's more than just Jewish Life?
Sure, it's great to be here, Dana. And at Elon, we are the Shabbat Hillel Center.
Wonderful. So how many Jewish students do you have on campus? In particular, do you have like a breakdown approximate for the number of students who identify as secular, Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, even humanistic, or any other denominations that students might identify as?
Well, so our Jewish population is about 11% of the overall student population. So Elon's about 7,000, and and the Jewish population is over 700. And we're holding fast at 10% up until a couple of years ago, and now we're at 11%, and it's getting more and more exciting every year. But we also know that that is based on self-identified Jewish students, and we know that there are several who don't self-identify for lots of different reasons. And so as the year goes on and we hear from students who aren't Jewish, who are Jewish, who are on campus, we hook them up with an intern and we give them access to the Shabbat Hillel Center. In terms of the breakdown, I don't have official numbers on that, but I would say that the largest number of students would probably identify as Reform, second closely followed by Conservative, some number of Reconstructionist, and then others. So that's probably the main, and then a small number of Orthodox.
Perfect. So are there kosher food options available to students on campus? And if so, what are they?
So we are proud to say that we do have our dining services they've been a terrific partner with Jewish Life, and they have been increasing grab and go kosher options in the dining halls. We have a Chabad on campus, and they provide us strictly kosher meals, especially for Shabbat. We offer vegetarian food in our kitchen, so that's our way of really making things accessible for all of our students.
Perfect. Are there weekly Shabbat dinners or gathering opportunities for students who want to get together for a traditional Friday night?
Yeah, we have something every Friday night. We kind of vary the programming because we like to be there for, we know that there are students who like large gatherings. So we'll have a big, what we call First Friday Shabbat, which is a theme, and lots of students come from across campus. Then we have a smaller dinner we call Table for Chai, which is a conversation-focused Shabbat, where students now, of course, this is all pre-COVID, but we have adapted all of this to COVID times in innovative and fun ways. But anyway, so we have Table for Chai, which is a conversation-focused Shabbat where we cook in the house or we bring food in, and students gather and have a themed discussion, whether that's about Israel or the state of the world or whatever that might be. And then we also sometimes we have Shabbat in a box, which means students come and pick up their Shabbats and their Shabbat stuff, their dinner and their candles and their challah and their grape juice. And they go and they celebrate, and then they send us pictures of themselves celebrating with their friends across campus. And so then there's, 3 offerings, and then we do other things too. We partner sometimes with Chabad, we partner with other folks on campus for Shabbat. We just had a big, what we call Shabbat-barbecue outside in the backyard with 80 pie. So that was a really fun Shabbat. So we try to keep it fresh and keep it different and go do what students want. We really try to be staff mentored, student led.
Perfect. Are there any Jewish studies majors or minors? And also, are there Hebrew language courses options that are going to be available for students?
Yes. So we have a Jewish studies minor, and that's pretty growing in popularity. And then on our team here at Hillel, we are very lucky. This year we welcome Boaz Avraham Katz, who's a longtime Hebrew instructor at Elon and is now our Jewish educator and also our Hebrew instructor. and he is amazing and so much fun. And Boaz would like you to know that he offers one and two, I think I've got this right, 1 and 200 level courses, but also will do private courses for upper levels.
Perfect. That's awesome. In terms of the political or social climate that's on campus, how does the university handle issues that might arise regarding BDS or anti-Semitism, issues involving Zionism? Do you have any, has there been any issues, or just how is the campus in general for students?
So I feel, and I have checked this out with students who have confirmed or validated my beliefs, that Elon's a really positive place to be Jewish. I mean, we had, for example, last week, we have an Israel fellow, and he worked with our Israel chairs, and we had Yom Ha'atzmaut festival in our backyard, which we call the Outback. And we had, it's COVID, so we had to keep our numbers really focused, but we had 73 students coming for Israel's 75th birthday. Our Hillel students who brought their friends, and it was just like a wonderful celebration across campus in our backyard. And so I feel like that is kind of a symbol of what life is like for students when it comes to issues around Israel. There's a real celebration. Our police department came by just to check things out. I mean, as invited guests, and they ate falafel with us. We haven't had any incidences of BDS. Doesn't mean we won't, but we haven't. And in terms of anti-Semitism, we are in a rural county. We have had a couple of incidences, but I also want to say, to me, the measure of impact is so much of that measure is about how administration responds. And immediately, those two incidences, which we had our president, our vice president for student life, our strategic initiatives president, like our student concerns, there's so many people at Elon actively supporting, coming to our student meetings, being there with our Hillel students, the Chabad leaders and the Hillel leaders who all came together in one meeting to talk about things. So they were there, they were present, and they were very, I think, consistently caring.
What would you say is the most popular or well-attended program that you put on campus each year?
So right before this conversation, I was talking to the student and I was like, okay, here are some questions. Like, what do you think are our most popular? And we kept changing because she's like, well, that's really popular, but that's really popular, but that's really popular. So just a few. So we have a bagel brunch, which we are about to have this Sunday. We're going to have one of our bagel brunches. And, here we are in Alamance County, North Carolina, and people often think that a good bagel might not be easy to find, but we have found them, and they are excellent, and they meet the standards of our Northeastern and Californian students and all of our students. So I'm really, really proud of the bagels. And we also, I mentioned Yom Ha'atzmaut in the middle of COVID. It was this grand celebration. Our Passover is a really lively cross-campus celebration coming together. Our first year activities, we have a big ice cream social to welcome our first years, and that is very well attended. As we have another event called Thai Food and Thai, which is Thai food and tie dye. So that's really popular. So we're happy to say that we have a lot of different programs that attract different students in different ways.
Wonderful. What is one piece of interesting information about Elon University that you would want people to know?
Well, I would want people to know that Elon is a very student-focused university. Like, this is a place where people really genuinely care about students. That's cross campus, and it's very much part of life, Jewish life as well. But it's a culture that we all share. Students are very important. There are many opportunities for students to take leadership. There are students are celebrated, and there are many opportunities for connections with students. So I think that's just so important. Also, because we're a private school, we are a Jewish life at Hillel. We are part of the campus. So my whole team, we are all university employees, and that makes us really integrated and part of the goings on of the university. integrated into and part of.
Wonderful. What challenges, if any, would a Jewish student face coming to campus and becoming a part of the Elon University Hillel experience?
What kinds of challenges would they face? I don't know. I mean, we really work hard to welcome students. That's a critical priority for us. And we have a team of interns who are there ready to welcome students. I think sometimes students might think, oh, that's not for me. I'm not this kind of Jewish student. I'm not that kind of Jewish student. But for us, our whole thing is, it doesn't matter to us how Jewish you are. We're here for you, or whether even you're Jewish. We're here. And we're here for students, whether they want to come do their laundry for free at Hillel, or they want to grab a snack, they want to be on the board, they want to create a program, they want to go to a program. We're here for students. So I think that the challenges are really just that, so often students will say, when they do, join us, they'll say, oh, this is, I thought I had to be a certain kind of Jewish person, or a certain, but to us, there's no gauge for what it means to be Jewish. You're here.
And my final question is, what do you love most about leading the Jewish community at Elon?
Oh, I love the students. I get to work with the best students. They're so much fun, and they're so smart, and they're creative and innovative and thoughtful. I'm just so lucky. And I also work with a really terrific team. So that's a lot of fun. So
awesome. Well, those are the questions. I think we got a little bit everything we needed in about 10 minutes, but thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone who's interested in Elon will be able to watch this and learn so much about the Jewish life and find that it is quite thriving and doing very well and growing, which is even more important. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for all of your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. This was fun.